Hello, I'm Erica from the Life Project. We're a social enterprise that focuses on putting inspiration back into education. We do this by designing innovative curriculums and training teachers. Today, I want to talk to you a bit about the trouble with education. For me, there's three main issues at stake. Number one, what do we learn? Number two, how do we learn it? And number three, what ways is that learning assessed? So let's start off with what we learn. The national curriculum is presenting a real challenge around what we learn. Why? Because it prevents young people following their natural interest, and where a teacher is in the flow of a lesson and finds that suddenly the young people are captivated by the idea or concept they're introducing, they're kind of forced to push on because there's a curriculum, an agenda and a timescale around that, all of which prevent them being able to indulge those interests and really explore a particular subject at depth. The second challenge for what we learn is our own fear of change. There have been some really great innovations in terms of educational qualifications over the last few years, most notably, in my opinion, the work-related learning diplomas, which offer an equivalent and high academic alternative to GCSEs and A-levels, but actually provide practical work-based learning experiences. But there's a problem with that. Our experience has been that qualifications come and they go, and who wants to be the parent or the teacher who advised a young person to take a qualification only to find that qualification scrapped by the next government and their young person disadvantaged in terms of their future options? And the last issue is about modern relevance. How well are we actually equipping young people for the world that they now find themselves in? Those people who are at school right now can expect to have had up to 14 jobs by the time that they reach their late 30s, and many of these jobs will be in different careers. So we need to think again about the skills and qualities that are needed to be adaptable in this kind of environment, the transferable soft skills that will serve a young person throughout their lifetime in enabling them to adapt to different worlds of work. Let's talk about the challenges around how we learn. Everyone has a different kind of intelligence. Howard Gardner described this as the multiple intelligences. These include emotional intelligence, musical intelligence, and kinesthetic intelligence. How well are we catering in our classrooms for the diversity of intelligences that a classroom presents us with? And what are the implications in terms of really failing our children by not taking on board the diversity of their learning styles and teaching them accordingly? Secondly, we lack flexibility. We've got the challenges around health and safety and risk assessments that make it quite difficult to actually take learning outside of the classroom environment and contextualise it in the real world. If we had a little more freedom around the environments in which we could teach, our habits and our habitats, as Ken Robinson describes it, we might be able to engage young people in things that really seem to be more relevant to their direct experience. The third factor inhibiting how we learn is the lack of the word why. We need to strongly encourage young people to learn how to question and think creatively about what they're learning and why it might be relevant to them, giving them the opportunity to reflect on and contextualise the learning that we've given them. And if we can't justify why we're learning it, then perhaps we ought to be thinking about why we're teaching it at all. Let's talk now about assessment. Until schools are not judged by league tables of their grades from A to C, there will always be a focus on ensuring that young people get as high a qualification as they can in examinations. This comes at the price of being able to be creative and free as a teacher and as a learning environment. This also comes at the price of young people being able to think for themselves rather than engaging in the memory game that's required to pass an examination effectively. We can assess learning in different ways. We can ask young people to produce a campaign or a collage to demonstrate their understanding through a skit or a play. It doesn't all have to be about regurgitating facts. And thirdly, we need to assess in ways that contextualise applied understanding. That means not just knowing the information, but understanding how to take that information and apply it in a meaningful way to draw conclusions, to think creatively, and to do something different. For more information about our innovative curriculum design and our teacher training that puts inspiration back into education, please visit our website www.thelifeproject.co.uk and get in touch and let us know what you think.